in this position g4, knight takes, queen c7, and queen b2. I like the fact that you were saying here that you wanted to trade pieces, because that makes a lot of sense. Like, of course you want to trade pieces, because otherwise this is going to be really dangerous for you. At the same time, I don't want to trade pieces, because, you know, we are the opposite. We have basically the opposite ideas here. We want to play something. You want...
Queen on the board.
Exactly. You're my enemy here, right? I don't want to make it easy for you. So I have to go backwards. Queen b2, because, okay, I keep my queen on b2. It's not like the best square ever, because even if it is controlling this diagonal, I do not have like a clear way to exploit this diagonal. So I have to figure out something here. You played this rook c e8, which made sense because now you want to play e5. And here I was thinking, because now I needed to find a way to stop you from playing e5, right? So one of the things that I was thinking was that maybe if you played e5, I could just ignore that and play something like f5. But the problem now is that you have the control of the center here, and it's really hard for me to generate an attack with g5 in the future, because you'll have moves like maybe even e4 in the future. That could be really annoying. Your pieces can come, my king is kind of exposed, maybe your rook can go up in certain situations, and that's dangerous for me. So I was trying to figure out a way to stop you from taking the center, and I didn't quite see any. Like, wow, what do I do here in this position? So g5 seemed to be logical to me, because I wanted to regroup my pieces and to change the circumstances of my pieces so that my queen can actually get into the game and try to generate pressure on the king side. So see how one more time how...
So me capturing just basically does open up a nice line for your queen and what you have drawn there. So I think I captured here, right? Played h takes g5.
Yeah, but there is no other move, right?
Yeah. So then but then my king's exposed. Yeah, so there is no other move. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you cannot just wait. The only move that you have here, and see how one more time this is paying the consequence of just playing h6, you know, before.
Yeah.
Like, now I have something to break. Like, I can play g4, g5, and break here. And then I can try to move my rook here, and then try to kill you here, or just simply maneuver with my rooks like this, or maybe even like this, and try to generate pressure on the king side. So that's like my plan here. The problem is that I didn't have time enough to move my rooks here before breaking, so that when you took here with your pawn, I will take with my rook, and then the file was open, and everybody was happy, right? But, you know, sometimes you cannot just have everything in chess. So g5, pawn takes. Of course, I am kind of generating an attack on the king side, but at the same time, I'm closing the file. So I have to figure out a way to proceed here, right? So knight e7 and queen d4. So in this position, you were thinking a lot about what to do in this situation, like how to defend the pawn on a7. I was thinking that I never wanted to take the pawn on a7, because that didn't go with my plan.
It's true. Yeah, remove. Then your queen's way out of the attack. Yeah,
exactly. It's like
it's an empty threat.
Yeah, it's like, all right, I'm moving my queen to d4. Of course, this is a kind of an attack here, but I don't care that much about the pawn. It's just like a pawn. All right, a pawn on a7.
And I just play rook a8 and just take the pawn. If I was that concerned about it, take the pawn. A2. And just roll on.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's true. I didn't calculate that enough for sure.
So here I was thinking, right? I'm like, all right, queen d4 is the move which I thought made more sense to bring more pieces and stuff. And I was thinking that in this position, maybe a move like queen e5 was a move that I was concerned of, because I don't want to take here. And even if I do, then you still have this queen takes g5 with check, which is annoying. So I don't want that.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah. So your queen is centralized now. I thought that maybe a move like this is what I was going to play, and now your queen actually looks better than before. And I was thinking of moves like this one, and I was kind of afraid of that because everything started to collapse, you know? Because if you take this pawn, this pawn is falling. And if this pawn is falling, then my attack doesn't look so nice, because then my pieces are going to react to yours. It's going to be like really hard for me to play. You're playing e5, you're controlling the center, maybe moves like rook e6 to defend this file here, and these ranks and these files, and to try to bring your pieces here into more activity. I was thinking about these kind of things, and I was kind of concerned. I was like, whoa, wait a second. Maybe if queen e5 comes, then I'm kind of in trouble, because that queen c3 is really strong. And now see how as you traded the bishop before, I do have my own debilities as well, which is basically, as you said, because you said this, the pawn on c2 was kind of weak, the diagonal, the square c3 is weak as well, and see how that can be taken advantage of as well. It's not just as if I can just come and kill you, you have some chances of counterplay as well. So in this position you said, I want to bring my knight into the action, but maybe bringing the queen into the action was more important. Because, I mean, I don't want to take here, and if I come here, then this queen c3 was really strong. So see how the activity of your pieces is quite important as well. And here you play a6, and
just gives you free tempo, essentially. Just good to continue your attack. Oh yeah, no, okay, it creates all this weakness.
Exactly. So
everything's weak on the dark squares.
So even if you don't want me to take on a7 or something, I don't know, play c5. Fight for the center, right? It's a pawn move.
Oh yeah.
But fight for the center, go for it. Like, make it harder for me to play the position. I was thinking that another move that I was concerned of was something like e5. Even if, of course, I wasn't going to take here because I thought that just wasn't going to work for me. I thought even moves like knight b6 were annoying then. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Because then...
Is the queen getting trapped there?
Exactly. So I have to go backwards.
Back.
And I don't know, I didn't like the position. It wasn't something that I wanted to do. But if e5 and I move my queen here, then you have control of this file here and this rank here, where you can try to bring more pieces to defend, and see how the control of the center is one more time extremely important in these kind of situations, because that's the thing that leads the dynamics of the board, basically, the center, most of the time. So a move like e5 here was something that I was afraid of. a6, well, I thought, alright, that's cool. Queen h4. That's cool. Like, alright, go.
Yeah, I just play bad moves.
Yeah, like, alright. And the problem is that, you know, this is something that I told to one of my students. Like, I told him, dude, you're looking for the moves which are out of the party, you know? And he was like, what do you mean? I go like, dude, if the party is in certain place, you want to go there, dance, do the thing, you know, whatever, hang with some girls, whatever, right? If the party is here, right? If the party is around here, and everybody's trying to kill you here, and the party is here, because that's the center, the party is there, why are you gonna go drink along here? That doesn't make a lot of sense, right? The party's here, go for it. And he goes like, wow, that makes sense. And then we analyze his games, and he was like, dude, I'm not going to the party in my games. And I go like, see why you're losing? Go for the party, dude. Go for the place where the action is happening, and then fight for it. So a6, out of the party, right? It's like, oh, all right, a6, but out of the party. Queen h4, queen e5 now. But it's not as strong, because...
Yeah, one move too late.
Exactly, you know?
Not forcing anything. Like, you had to make a decision with your queen before, and now it's...
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
see how...
like a nothing move. At the same time, at least it gets it to the center, but yeah, it's still bad.
Exactly. It's like the difference of a tempo, it's really strong here, because here you had the threat on the queen, and now I can simply play d4 because I don't want you to come here. So basically I'm winning a tempo, you know, because you have to go backwards, and then your queen didn't do that much here. Like, oh, alright, you went to d6, but now my pawn is on d4, and alright, you're taking on c2, but I don't care about that pawn anymore, because that doesn't mean anything in the position right now for me, because I want to bring my pieces and try to kill you here in this fashion.
Checkmate.
Exactly. So
wins the game.
What's a party? Checkmate is a party, right? So bishop h5, trying to bring everybody to the party. I wanted to figure out a way to bring this knight as well, because this knight was just kind of as bad as yours, because it wasn't doing that much. So I was trying to figure out a way to bring my knight and to attack as well, because, you know, as you wanted to bring this knight into the game, I want to bring this one into the game as well. So the problem is that I didn't find a way to bring it, so I had to work with my other pieces, and I had to try to figure out what was the best way to proceed here. So you play bishop g6, and now things are starting to look kind of desperate. I don't like that move, because, well, I don't like the position now. It looks really hard for you to hold, right? In this position, you were kind of like...
Yeah, at this point, it's felt lost. I was getting that feeling too. It was just like everything, you know, it's very difficult to defend. I didn't really see any great moves here.
Exactly.
It seemed like...
But, you know, I always say this in my videos, and it's that I always remember, it's incredible. You know, I was being trained by an international master back in the day, and I was like in a game with him or in a lesson, I don't even remember, and he told me, Po, there is something that you have to know. And I go like, what? attacking, everybody can attack. Any idiot can attack. You can attack, he told me. And I go like, oh. And then he said, but defending is hard. And he was right, dude. I mean, he called me an idiot, but he was right. Attacking is easier, but defending is really hard. So that's why you do not want to be in these positions where you have to defend, because then you have to work things out which are more difficult. Like for you to find a maneuver to defend here is way harder than for me to find a maneuver to attack. Like this one, it's just quite simple, right? Rook f3, rook h3, and then I'm gonna kill you. But for you to defend, if I had to guess a maneuver here, and I think it's kind of too late, but if I had to guess a maneuver, it will take more time for me to defend. I was thinking about maybe something like queen e7, and then your queen is at least trying to get a tempo here, so that I cannot play g6 in the future or something like that. But the problem is that, I mean, what I wanted to do was to move my knight to f8, but I don't know how to do that after your rook is trapping this one. So things are getting really hard. Maybe f6, but then you're losing your bishop.
It's tough.
It's just really strong now. It's too much. Like, wow, what do I do now? So bishop g6, and I don't want to trade. I don't care too much about it. So rook f3. You were thinking that if I took here, then your pawn structure was going to be kind of like weird and stuff. I agree with that, but I don't care about it. The party is checkmate, right? So I'm going for the party. I don't care that much about this little thing here. Nah, it's not so important. Rook f3, bishop f5 now, and this is something that didn't make a lot of sense in my mind. Like, if you wanted to play bishop f5, you could have done it in one move, right? So bishop g6 to play bishop f5 is just like, all right, move your rook to f3 for free, right?
Yeah.
So
I didn't think about your rook coming to h3 right away, so I wasted 2 moves trying to stop that. It was just, that's the idea with bishop f5. I think it was f5. Yeah.
Exactly. Here. But maybe here, if you're seeing that, just come here in this move, right?
Because the rook's coming there. That's
exactly.
Yeah. So maybe in one move. So I wasted a move because I didn't see the rook coming in, which is pretty bad because that's like kind of all I was thinking about.
all right. Yeah, but it's you have to be careful with your tempos, with your tempo in general, because if you're not careful, that's kind of like giving me a free pass to do whatever you want, right? So bishop h5, bishop g6, kind of weird. Rook f3, bishop f5 makes sense. See how with this tempo that you lost, then it is getting even easier for me to play. I bring my rook here. Everybody's just I'm even threatening rook takes and rook f3 and rook h3.
h3.
So that's a lot of pressure. Also, what else am I threatening here? I don't know. I'm threatening a lot of things. I'm threatening things like g6 in certain situations. I'm threatening, like, for example, rook takes, pawn takes, and then moves like g6, I guess, with bishop takes and queen h7 with mate. It's like a lot of pressure. So I don't like that. It's a lot. Also, I guess just out of moving my rook somewhere, I can try to bring this knight in this kind of fashion in certain situations and try to bring it to e5 to make it even harder for you to play. So also I was thinking that maybe move like this followed by this and then try to break with g6 was an idea, but I don't know, there are many ways to try to proceed, but the most simple one is just to try to go to h3, right? So g6, a move which is kind of helping me as well, because I don't know, it's hard to find a move now. It's just really hard. Maybe queen e7 one more time, but it doesn't look nice. So now you're paying the consequences of the things that happened before, It's like, I do this, I do whatever, and then you pay the consequence at the end. So this is a consequence of it. So g6, bishop g4, and now see how my bishop on g4 is simply helping my rook to go to h3. So
no. Well, I guess it loses control of h3. That's one downfall, but it allows you to play that as a natural move instead of maybe you wanted to play bishop g4 and just get rid of this to make this really easy. So I'm just in a way helping you.
Yeah, that's actually what I wanted to play. Bishop g4. I wanted to do that, and when you play g6, I go like, all right, that's cool. If you want to die, then I want to kill you. So g6 is something that you have to try to avoid, right? So bishop takes, queen takes, king g7, and here I thought, what is that? Like, you said, well, I want to bring my rook to h8, but the problem is that if you do so, then this one is falling. So
so I didn't have enough time to play rook e7 first, and then or queen d7, and then rook over is one tempo too slow.
Yeah, but this just looks like too late now because your rooks are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like it's gonna go too far away from here. Like queen h4, and now rook h8. It's not gonna fly because I have this rook h7, and if anything, I'm threatening queen h6 with check, and then rook h3, so that you do not have anywhere to go. And that's just too much, right? Like rook e7, queen h6, and then rook h3, and then this is over, right? And the thing is that we have seen a lot of things that we have to be really concerned of, right? One of them is tempies, one of them is how to actually fight for the thing that we have to fight the party, right? Instead of just going for something which is a little bit more superficial, we have to try to figure out where the party is and what our objective is, and we have to try to discern, if that's a word, I don't know, yeah, maybe that's a word.